Five, four, three, two, one.
I still can't get over that's over 20 years old, that.
Well, that bit of music.
Yeah, I know. It takes you back, doesn't it?
Yeah, that little bit of music. I changed it from last week's dreary thing. That's actually something me and Dave created. So,
Yeah, on a PlayStation.
it's all right. Sorted him out.
Afternoon, Mick.
Good afternoon, Mick. Hang on, what's up with your toes? Hold on.
Oh, hello, the builder's in the room.
Hello, one smart lad. Nice haircut.
Hang on. Let's put you up. Bump. There he is.
Yeah,
In all his glory.
One posh boy had his haircut today.
Yeah, but he wants down.
He wants down because he knows
it. You took me away from my treat. Put me down. Put me down.
Yeah, I hope everyone's well. I've had disaster after disaster this week.
Yes. Well, at least it wasn't. At least it wasn't an exploding egg.
No. My pressure in my water heater went crazy over the weekend when it was cold, and then my microwave gave up on me. It had steam coming out the sides.
Not good.
No, it's been written off.
More than that, it's been bloody condemned.
Yes,
Hi, Zeb.
It's had the plug cut off it as well.
Good, yes.
Apparently, they have to do it now.
Yes, that way somebody can't walk in, lift it out of the tip, and plug it in themselves.
No, that's it. Yeah, it's something to do with it. Anyway, what has been going on the channel this week? We're starting to calm down after Christmas. Still got 8,982 views in the last 7 days and 20 new subscribers. So if you're a new subscriber, welcome. So what have you been all watching? Well, at number 3, because I like the question so much in the tag that we did. I did mine. 122 people.
I've watched half of it. I've got to go back and watch the rest.
Yeah. So 122 people have watched that. At number 2, Richard and I did our sweet deep cuts last weekend, and 160 people. But still at the top, and I'm so chuffed about this, is Bread, top 10, with 199.
See, classics never grow old.
No.
Never go.
And the top short last week was Needle Drop Saturday. And we had Deepest Purple, and it dropped on Burn. 760. So, with 28 days.
Zeb's getting impatient.
Yeah, it's tomorrow, Zeb. Part 2 is tomorrow. There are going to be other Tangerine Dream, because I'm not going to all do it in one foul swoop. There's lots still of Tangerine Dream for those Tangerine Dream fans. 28 days, 49,459 people, 134 new subs. Very quiet on that front. Not much is happening. It's still retro ranking Adam and the Ants, 218. Songs that should have been number 1 in the 70s, 350. And the vinyl tag, 609. Top short was Foxtrot with 1,054.
Sorry, what? Foxtrot.
Foxtrot. Yeah, 1,054 people watched the short. So since we started back in 2021, 584,215
There you
views.
go, Zeb. There's the link.
And we've now got 2,453 subscribers. Foxtrot, yeah. So I'll do the short we all know. We're not going to say it. It's just Jean-Michel Jarre. Still billions in front. But the top 5 all time, there's been some movement there. Mike Oldfield is still 4326. Jethro Tull 4357. Derek Riggs and his Iron Maiden stuff 4448. Slade 5156. And Status Quo is getting very close to 10,000 views. It's now 9,987. Will it be 10 next week? So that's the thing. What have I been listening to? Well, we have finished listening to the Enid, Aswad, and the Kaiser Chiefs. And now I've got, I'm listening to Is Liddo's Bane.
Isildur's, but
Yeah, I've listened to the 16. The Bookshop Band, which are a fabulous little band, have done the 2. Man, I've done 2. Chris de Blur, 2 of the 23, and 7 of the 9 Blur albums. So it's all bingo. I've also listened to other stuff and what he has. So that's what's been going on. No doubt in a minute I'll have him wanting the facilities.
Oh, of course, he always does.
Yes, he's finished that, so he's looking at me. So I'm going to go to.
What did he have tonight?
He had his chicken leg.
The chicken foot.
Yes, he's now looking.
The mummy's claw that you see coming out of the tomb. That's what that reminds me of.
So it's now time for Hatches, Matches, and Dispatches.
Right. Well, you know the numbers. There's not many dispatches. There's a few hatches, but there's no matches this week.
There he goes.
Yeah. Right on cue. Perfect timing.
Right on cue.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Okay, so dispatches this week. Since last week, on the 10th, Sam Moore, American soul singer-songwriter, used to be in the duo Sam and Dave. He passed. On the 13th, I had to laugh whenever I saw this and double-check it. P. Fluid, American funk metal singer. He's a member of the band 24/7 Spies. And Buck White, American country and bluegrass singer and mandolinist with the Whites. They both passed on the 13th. The 14th, Teddy Osei, a Ghanaian jazz rock saxophonist. He used to be in Osibisa. It was a blast from the past. I had heard the name and I thought, I've got to go back and listen to them again. And then on the 15th, Linda Nolan, one of the Nolan sisters, Irish pop singer and TV personality. She'd survived breast cancer. She'd been given the all clear. It came back. It got into her brain. She wasn't doing so great. And then she passed away from double pneumonia. Very sad. But anyway, those are our dispatches. At some stage, we will be doing a tribute to the Nolans because we knew Linda wasn't well. So we've set up something that'll be done at some stage in the near future. So we'll move on. Happier stuff. Hatches, the birthdays. So it's happy birthday today to 43-year-old Samuel Dylan Murray Preston. He's known simply as Preston. He's an English singer, songwriter. And he's with He was in and has reformed the Ordinary Boys. 44 today is Nick Valenci, American rock guitarist with The Strokes. 45 today, you might not know the name, Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's an American composer and playwright. He's the guy who wrote Hamilton, the stage show, the musical. 46 today, Rashawn Ross. He's an American trumpeter. Now, we had Dave Matthews of the Dave Matthews Band last week, and this week it's one of his trumpeters. 63 today, Maxine Jones. Remember her? American R&B singer. She used to be in En Vogue. And Paul Webb, English rocker with Talk Talk. They're both 63 today. 65 today is Richard Elliott. He's a Scottish-born American jazz saxophonist. He's best known for doing the sax version of When a Man Loves a Woman, Percy Sage song. 66 today is Jill Sobule, or Sobule, pronounce it how you like, S-O-B-U-L-E. She's an American singer-songwriter. She wrote I Kissed a Girl. She had a minor hit with it, but as we all know, Katy Perry took it and big time numbers with her. Also 66 is Helen Folasade Adu. We know her as Sade or Sade, depending how you pronounce your S's. Nigerian-born British singer-songwriter, arranger, record producer, best known for Smooth Operator, amongst other hits. 81 today is Jim Stafford, American singer-songwriter. He wrote My Girl Bill. Remember that one? 86 today is Ramon Phillips, better known as Ray Phillips. He's a Welsh rock singer, not the one that Iain thought. This guy at 86, he used to be in the Nashville Teens. They were the band that came out with Tobacco Road. And then we have a gran and granddad today. We have two people, aged 91. Marilyn Horne, American mezzo-soprano, and Richard Wernick, an American composer. He won the 1977 Pulitzer Prize for music for his music, Visions of Terror and Wonder. So there's happy birthday to all those. There's your hatches. We've had the dispatches. Like I said, there's no matches. Weird. Not even a dispatch today.
That's
So
strange.
it is. It's most unusual. There's usually something. Talking point. This is going to be fun. Jobs, professions, be it in the title, be it in the lyrics, something somewhere that I sat down and I went through. I thought, okay, let's have a look, see what we can find. Ones that I think other people won't come up with. Somebody nicked one after I went through the list, and I've ended up with 6. Yeah. Yes, we saw it was announced today. I came up, like I say, with a list of 25. Iain has pinched one. I'm not going to tell you which one. I'll let him tell you. But he's back. So he's done his business.
Yes.
Let's see what's on next week, shall we?
Oh, okay. Let's see what's on next week. If you like.
And full screen, off you go.
So next week, what have we got for you? Well, we're going to kick off Monday with the last but one part of the Van Morrison story. And we're going to look at his albums from the 2010s. Yeah, there's not many there that are notable, but we're still going to do them. And we've got a great perfect side. There's a lot of people that like Susie and the Banshees. I'm going to pick my favourite side of Kaleidoscope. Going to be a tough one, that is. Tuesday. A viewer's request. They only put 2 albums out, but they're great albums, and they're called Kepler 10. Really good band. And we got some bad songs again. And yes, I have picked on Mike Oldfield. Going to cause a lot of controversy, no doubt, but there you go. And I just don't like that shirt. That's a hideous shirt.
And that was whenever he was on his island making music.
Yes, it is. It's exactly that picture. Okay, next Wednesday, Swedish guitar player Yngwie Malmsteen.
Well done. He's been practicing. You can tell.
I've been practicing. Yeah, I like some of his stuff.
Oh, Pulsar.
Oh, that is a bit. I'll put that up. Yeah.
Hello, Christopher. Welcome in.
Yeah. Well, we could have done it like that, sir, but we didn't. So where are we? We'll move on to Thursday. Got another Battle Royale. We've got John Lennon's Imagine against New Order's Blue Monday. And we're going to take a trip down memory lane and we're going to look at the UK top 10 for the 23rd of January, 1984. That'll take us nicely round to Friday. And we're going to have a look at the Doors live albums. And also we've got a new album. And I couldn't believe this when I read that the Tokyo Blade, that I remember as a wee nipper, have got a new album out tomorrow. And it's called Time is the Fire. I'm looking forward to seeing what that sounds like. And then Sunday, Richard, myself, and Simon are back on the trail of things.
Lenny, stop it.
Oh, God, already.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at songs that should have been number one in the 50s and 60s. Which is quite cool. So I decided, what thumbnail shall I do? Well, we did a classic 50s car and a scooter. The Doors do have some great live albums. So that's what is on next week. The Three Musketeers, yes. So there we go. That's what's on next week.
Good. All right.
I'm only doing their official ones this time, Zeb.
Yes.
We will do the unofficial ones at another date, but there's so many. So I'm just going to concentrate on the ones that are actually in their discography this time. As I always do. When people say you've missed this live album, I only do what the band normally have released and officially released. So
bootlegs and...
How many officials are there? There's only about 5 or 6. Yeah. Not many.
Yeah, the rest are all bootlegs and re-recordings. And we can make money off this. Yay, let's put it out again.
He does look well hard in that picture. I asked him to live officials. I think there's 4 or 5 things like that, Zeb. Anyway, what was the result of last week's Battle Royale?
Oh, do you really, really, really want to know?
I'm sure people go and have a look, but we better do it officially.
Well, unfortunately, now Iain did his little thing as he does on a Thursday morning. It's live stream day today, this is what we're doing today. And somebody popped a comment on, oh, why don't you go and vote for his band? The voting goes from 2 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon till 1 minute to midnight on a following Wednesday. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any change in the result. As you can see, David Bowie, Ashes to Ashes, 11. The Jam, That's Entertainment, 4 votes. Sorry, Rob, but you put your plea for votes. You put it a little bit late after the fact.
But I did like that. I did like the style. But there we go.
Yeah, he tried.
He tried. Well, there we go.
Anyway, so you've got 9 plus 1 working titles. I'm not going to let you away with that one.
No.
Even now, yes, nice one. Whoops. Bonk. Good evening, Richard.
Good evening, Richard. Yes, sir. So the poor old microwave has died on me.
Yes, that's
The glass actually shattered like a windscreen. You had this rattle, 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 and then this. And I turned around because I've got my back to it at the time, and there was this out the side. All this steam was coming out the side of the microwave, and I thought, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, it didn't fracture and break onto the floor. It just cracked.
It cracked, yeah, just like a wind.
That's the thing. It has to remain in one piece as possible, because if it goes like a car windscreen, you get little bits of glass. If it goes bang pop, it has to withstand the force of something going bang inside.
Yes, that's how. I love how they come. They have to come and. It's like when you have a write a car off or a bike or something. Yeah, it's a write-off. Sign it off.
Yeah. There is an interesting question from Zeb. It's to Pulsar.
Yeah, that is it. It could be. Yeah, I will be doing the boosters series and the sessions at some stage.
That's 18 years.
Yeah,
that's quite a sizable period.
Yeah, so we will be doing more after tomorrow. But it's just so much, and I think we've done a huge chunk, but we've still got a lot to do.
Oh, good Lord, yes.
But it makes, now and again, it's nice to throw in some more Tangerine Dream. Because I know a lot of you guys like a bit of Tangerine Dream.
I mean, the list of... put it like this. They've got a Tangerine Dream bootleg recordings page on Wikipedia. That gives you an idea. It goes back to Essen 1968 and goes forward from there.
It was. I'm so grateful for Pulsar for helping me out with this, because I think we've got a good chunk that we're going to get a good chunk done in these 2 weeks, and then we can just go back and pick up the bits I didn't mention, because there were so many that's around to listen to as well. Well, that's the main thing. There's lots of Tangerine Dream out there to listen to. Right, I'm going to give you a little clue onto this week's lyrics. We've already mentioned the band tonight.
Right. Sorry, I was just counting up there. 38 bootlegs from 68 to 97.
Yeah, so that's
sort of the soundtracks.
Yeah, so there's your clue. We've already mentioned the band tonight.
Yeah, and I didn't get it.
And all the other thing is, yes, you will see Winnevedka for Rose. You'll probably see that sometime in the spring.
Yeah, he's been listened to.
Yeah,
All
listen to
8 albums.
all 8 albums. Yeah, they're all ready to go. It's just trying to fit, getting good balance of stuff. Eventually, Pulsar. I haven't even started looking at his solo stuff yet, but it's on my little list that now and again I throw them in because you guys give me so much. I now and again throw one on. Probably not. I'll just keep them to the ones that the original. There's re-recorded nonsense. Yeah, listening to this week's
that's why.
this week's marathon was a tough one for me because I can say that I am not a fan of Seven Dust. I just couldn't get into them. I really, really didn't. I've heard that one, Zeb. It was when I was listening to some Tangerine Dream when I did the ranking. I was listening on Spotify, and the next thing it came on was that. And as I was doing something, I couldn't be asked to change it. So that's how I got it. Thing. So the links there. I don't know if any other gang are in.
17 Prophecy. That was 1996. I'm just looking. I was surprised to discover because I used to enjoy watching Babylon 5, the old sci-fi thing, and I didn't realise that Chris Frank did the music for Babylon 5.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
it's probably why it's so good.
He also did the music for Universal Soldier, the movie. I wonder, 93, which film, 93, Journey to the Center of the Earth, was that?
Oh, that's something. I mean, I know they've both done lots of soundtrack work. I mean, Tangerine Dream have done enough of their own. So,
right, it's not the 2008 version. Let's have a look. Oh, Pacific. He did the music for Pacific Blue as well. The American, the American cop thing set in Santa Monica.
I know they did it. I mean, I think soundtrack work was quite it was a big money thing for them. I think.
Yeah. I mean, there was a crikey, Sorcerer. There's one that comes to mind. What was the other one?
Oh, it's certainly
Legend.
Yes.
The one with Mia. Oh, crikey, I can't remember her last name.
Oh, John Anderson sings on that, doesn't
he?
On the Legend sound. On Legend. I do believe.
Because there's more than one version. Yes, Loved by the Sun. Lyrics written and sung by John Anderson.
Yeah. But I don't think he's ever performed on stage with
no, because the vocals were added after Tangerine Dream did the music. So they laid down the music and then he added the vocals after.
Yeah, they do play the actual track live because obviously I've been listening to it lately. If you can hear something in the background, folks, that's Rocky snoring. He's had such a hard day today, being pampered.
Oh, I know.
Well, drive them home, why not? I'll tell you what, it's warm in here. Ooh.
Well, you started, or you had a foggy start to your day. If I
Oh
remember
God,
correctly.
it was like pea soup here this morning.
It was absolutely glorious here. Sun was shining. It bloody woke me up, beating through the curtains 7:30 this morning. It's been a beautiful, beautiful day.
By the time I did the recordings today, the light was a lot better because it wasn't very good when I did the live thing at about 8:15 this morning.
No, you could see it was.
Yeah, and then I had the boiler man come and sort the heating out and did all the business, and then I did some recording, and then I had a phone call from the demolition man. So he come round, and then I got the album one done, and then Rocky had his haircut. So
There it is. Mia Sara, that was her name. Oh, I meant to tell you. Hang on, dashboard. Currently, midnight train to Georgia, 3 votes. My generation, 2 votes.
ooh,
Close. David Bowie went into an unassailable lead last week, almost from the start.
Yeah, he had some memento, didn't he? I think next week's could be interesting.
Yes.
Could be very interesting.
Yes, because the challenge is
the Beatles crowd.
Yes, I wanted to avoid that, but yes, that's exactly what it is. Beatles supporters.
The Beatles supporters, yes.
But then Blue Monday is a bloody good song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to show my picks for tonight. I mean, I have had to leave out I'm an urban spaceman tonight. Such a shame.
That would have been nice to see that again. That hasn't been shown for quite a long while. That
no, I haven't. I think I've only shown it twice since I got it. I'm looking for another copy because the cover on that is pretty battered.
It is a bit manky.
But the records are they're in mint condition.
This is it. I mean, it's only if the sleeve is, how should we put it, in dire need of restoration and being taken along to, what do they call that program, the restore, where they put things back together. Right, take
the repair shop.
Yeah, that's it, the repair shop. Take an album cover along there, right?
Yeah, your man
put these back to the way it was.
Yeah, your man that does the book restoring.
Yes,
he's incredible, isn't he?
He is. It's really interesting to watch him take a book apart, the individual sleeves.
Oh God, painstaking.
It is. And then whenever he puts it back together again, it's fascinating to see how books in the old days were constructed, and then you look at the modern book, and you think that's not the same. It is the same technique, but it's been mechanized, industrialized. You don't have the same care and attention to detail that the old bookmakers used to do, gluing individual pages. Imagine the amount of time it must have taken to create a book.
I know I know he just sews all the pages together. It's fabulous.
This is it. You forget that the old books, let's say pre 1980, proper books were sewn, stitched, not just glued to a piece of card.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How cold is it today?
It's freezing.
Yeah, we've had some of that. And I don't know if you heard, my heating decided to go up the Swanee last weekend.
What went up?
It went up the spout. It went one of the radiators. The pressure dropped. So
right.
So they were all erratic. One didn't come on, and it was the one that I sit next to in the evenings. It would be that one, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
of course.
I'm in a steel and concrete building, which is really a godsend when it comes to winters and summers here. And I never really appreciate it. I'll never live in an old wooden house in this country ever again.
Oh, yes.
Because they're raised off the ground here. They're, so the cold comes in from the floorboards, and they don't have central heating here. They heat each room and cool each room individually. So when you're conserving money, you let some rooms go. So you go from a warm room to a freezing room. It's really a different way of life.
Yeah, that's the problem. Getting a cold room warm whenever you move into it.
Yes.
Yeah. Transfer. Oh, not another one.
Yes, I've done that.
Thank you.
Have you had some problems in the gallery?
Yeah, the usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know he is, but we don't talk about that. That's the last of that one.
Yes, end that discussion, please.
Yeah, I mean, our houses. I mean, this is a modern building, and the bricks sort of insulate the house. You can put the heating on; it'll go off. But when in some places the bricks, when everything goes cold, here it doesn't. They stay warm all day long.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, look at me now. I've got just a t-shirt on.
Yeah, I see that. I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's quite warm in here.
You've got air gap brickwork, which has been filled with. Oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? That foam, that insulating foam.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's all right. I'm just reading the things. Yes, that's very good of you, Jim. Saying sorry, much appreciated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
there are those who don't
finding records with the jobs to this week.
With the
with our topic.
Oh, it was a tough one. I was thinking, I wonder how Ian's going to handle this, but I figured a lot of metal stuff has got guys like slaying people. So, with axes and stuff. So that's a job, but blues people don't really write about jobs, and punk artists certainly don't write about jobs. So it was definitely a challenge, but I did cobble it together. There'll be a couple of stretches here, couple of hits, but it was a challenge.
Yeah, I watched your latest video this afternoon, Richard. I mean, Michael. It's all right, Richard's coming in.
My
Yeah,
son-
watch it.
Speak of the devil, there he is.
Hi, Richard.
Evening, evening, Richard.
Yes.
I thought it'd come up because there's occupations today.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
And
occupations, jobs.
you don't mind CDs.
No.
No,
Because just frantically left
any format.
about 3 minutes ago. I thought I can do this. So
Okay.
Good evening.
Evening, Mike.
I won't be up for long. It's just can I go first?
You can.
You're working tonight, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm actually off, but right.
Ah, yeah.
I'm scared of falling.
Make him go last.
Well, we can go. Well, you're the producer. I'm not. I'm just the skivvy.
What?
But
I'm just a skivvy. I am. I just do all the talking. I just sit here and be pretty.
I'm not. No, I'm not going to follow. I'm not
No.
going to follow that. I'm not going to follow that. So I'm going to.
No, well, you nearly did. So yeah,
So
we'll let you go first,
We'll
Richard.
put Richard up.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, 10 CDs here. And there's one, I think it's actually got 2 occupations on it. One in lyrics and one in the title. But anyway, start off The Birds on Fifth Dimension. And the track is Mr. Spaceman. So Spaceman is actually an occupation. Hard one, this was, so
It is.
definitely not a bad album. And it's the first one without Gene Clark, I believe. One sort of for Iain, but not really for Iain because I don't think he likes it at all. In the army now, status quo. It was the last one I picked. I wasn't really wanting this one, but I thought I can't be bothered looking for any more. And it's not a brilliant album, as Iain will probably agree.
Oh,
It's Conscription.
Yeah.
Conscription, yes. This one here is one for me and one for Dave. Male Model by the Undertones. I want to be a male model. I want to be a male model. I never was a male model. It's a great track from debut album, and it's a really good CD issue.
Yeah.
Tons
Nice
of
one,
it.
Richard. Nice one.
Also, another right, you can't have a male model without a female model, but they're not called female models, they're just called models. A model from Squeeze from their first album, which outside of Take Me I'm Yours is the best track on this. It was then re-recorded for the B-side of Cool for Cats, but still a great track from a not so bad album. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad. Rolling Stones, Factory Girl from Banquet. Yeah, so I've always preferred the sort of invitation sleeve to the rather horrible toilet sleeve, but that's just me.
Me too. Me too.
Thank you. Thank you. I have another one on my side. Thank you, Michael. So it's a great little sort of part country-ish type song, but it's very, very catchy. This one here is actually just called Occupation. And it lists a load of occupations at Sparks, and it's introducing Sparks. And that's the actual CD there. And it's a great track, second song off the album, and it's hilarious as well. It just lists all different occupations and what can actually go wrong. Very good. This one here is The Actor by Moody Blues in search of the lost chord, or the lost chord. I always get this confused with the status quo in search of the fourth chord. In search of the lost chord from 1968. Just a favorite song, I believe. Very, very good. This one here is The Move from Message in the Country, and it's The Minister. Now, you can take that as a minister of a government or a minister of a church, whichever. I don't care. It's called The Minister, and that is an occupation. This was The Move's last album. It was recorded around the same time as the very first ELO album, just shortly before, but it's very, very similar in style, I think. And then we have the one that has 2 occupations. One from Bridge Over Troubled Water is The Boxer, Obviously, it's beautiful. Who did I nick? Did I take somebody's?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Well, we go with so long, Frank Lloyd Wright, the architect, did.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't. That's two strike. I got two on the bingo card at least.
This is the deluxe version of the DVD of basically the making of Bridge Over Troubled Water and then the live in 1969, which actually did get its own release on CD, and then they added it to this, so I've got two copies of it. A wonderful album. And then we go back to the church and again, and we have Vicar in a Tutu by the Smiths from their Queen.
Excellent. That's a good choice, that is.
And
Good choice.
that's my 10 choices, so you can make it small, yeah.
Very well done. Well done. Yes, I got at least two on the bingo card.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got. I'm going to show that album, but I'm gone for another track. And it's one of my triple. I get 3 occupations in one song.
All right, Brumba Baba.
Yeah.
But only three in one song. Oh, that's nothing.
Well, I
mate.
think there's a few more than that, but there's I've got to go through the whole of the lyrics.
Yes.
So if I do mine now and get that out of the way, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's pop you up.
Let's find it and we'll just put that into the front.
Listen,
So
whoever,
I'm gonna show-
Ian, can you hang on? Whoever is doing this, you don't like waxed. Fine. Take it somewhere else. This is not the channel. Go away. Please. Okay. Sorry, Ian. Go on ahead.
Well, they've gone anyway. So I've gone for, as Richard and I were badly humming, Baby Driver. Now, let's have a look at the lyrics. We've got, my daddy was a family baseman. My mama was an engineer. Baby driver. Naval Reserve. A prominent frogman. I think that's all they want to sing. But yeah, so I've gone for Baby Driver, which is my favourite track on this album.
Evening, Andy.
Okay, my next one, we're going for a single from Elvis Costello. Watching all the detectives.
Yeah.
Good song.
Yeah, very good.
Bit of Deep Purple from the Who Do We Think We Are album. And there's a little track on here, on last one on side 1, called Smooth Dancer.
That's a job.
That's a job, yes, a dancer. And I think this is a really underrated album. A lot of people poo-poo it, but I don't. Okay, I've got this lovely album. I do show this quite a lot. The First 10 Years of Joan Baez. And there is a version, her version of on here. I think it's on side. I can't find it now. It's the second track on side 1. If I Were a Carpenter. She does a lovely version of that song on that album. Pretty cool. My next one is Dire Straits, Love Over Gold. Private Investigations. It's a song about a private investigator. Although it doesn't mention it, it's actually a song about private investigator. I haven't showed any for a little while, so it's about time we had some Marillion. And from the song Bittersweet, there are some lyrics. A train slips into a siding. The driver guzzles another can of lager. Train driver. Up next, a bit of Van Halen. Hot for Teacher. 1984. Yes, a bit controversial, but it's a great song. Okay, bit of 1987, Roger Waters' second studio album, Radio Chaos, And on here, there is a DJ on the album all the way through. I do believe it's Jim Ladd. So, and when we saw him live at Wembley, he was in a little booth at the side of the stage, which is pretty cool. Okay, this one, there's not a song on it, but guess what we got on the front of the cover? In chains, a vicar, a man of the cloth.
Yes.
Which is a
That's
pastime. And now one of Michael's favourite Genesis albums.
Ooh. Ooh.
But there is a track on here. Well, you've got two. You've got Jesus He Knows Me, which is a song about a preacher. But you've got I Can't Dance, which is about a male model. But the one I've gone for is Driving the Last Spike, which is a song about railway navvies. So I've mixed the boat up there. So there's my 10.
Very good. Some
Right,
liberties
I'm just
taken.
Looking up.
Some liberties taken. Well, it is my stream.
Right.
It's my- Yeah, it comes with the Dio, yeah. Slick album, the Dio album. Yes, I like the Dio. Come on, Arnie. Cut it out. I'll give you one more chance. Any more? If you put any more up, Arnie, you're gone. All right? Anyway. Swiftly moving on.
Yes.
Who would like to go next?
The old ball and chain. The job.
Good job, yeah.
Well, I guess I'll go next.
Yeah, you go next, Mike.
Okay. So, as I mentioned, this was a little bit of a challenge, but what are they doing? They're working together, right? They're working together. They're calling out all my sisters and brothers, working together to make a change. So, civil rights, working together. Bit of a stretch, I know. But Miss Judy's Farm. And, I found the lyrics kind of interesting on this, that British people wrote this. What is she? Miss Judy, she was moody. She ran a sweaty farm in old Alabama. And Miss Judy had a cross-eyed poodle that I would kick it if I ever given a chance. But, farmhand. Big boss man. Right? Do we love our bosses? Not all the time. Big boss man. Coco Taylor. Don't have the lyrics handy. Dust my broom.
Oh,
It's cleaning. Sure, it's an occupation. Here's one that's near and dear to Ian's heart. Nighttime in the switching yard. Right?
yeah.
Trains.
Trains, yes.
That's a job.
Very much so.
Another one of your favorites, honest work.
That cover is hideous.
Hold on a minute, just a sec. Oh. Night hawking, about driving a cab at night. About the bad, and the theme is, the bad smog in California, Los Angeles in the 70s. That's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawnmower.
Me, I'm just a lawnmower.
You can tell me by the way I walk.
Yeah. Pedro's got a job.
Yes.
I feel like I'm a second grade school teacher. Children, do we see an occupation in this photo? That's right. It's Pedro. What's he doing? He's killing a bull. That's his job. And the last one, which is, this is really a stretch, okay? We got together and we burnt down the mission. We as an organized group, to burn it down takes effort. Burn down the mission. Those are my 10. I know. I told you. Had I, Factory Girl was right at my fingertips. I should have grabbed that. That was good, Richard.
Yes. Okay,
Taking off that. Then go.
So I really went with Harold the Barrel.
That's not a job. Where's the job there? He's trying to kill himself.
Harold the restaurant owner.
He was a restaurant owner.
That's true.
As I say, you stretch the rules.
You do.
Stretch them to incredulity if you can.
Yeah.
So, our representative from Leeds.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Up you are.
Right. Okay. Mainly singles tonight. Hey, that would be a good idea. We should pull out the list. We should pull out the wheel. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Where are we? We're talking about work, aren't we? Right. Number one, Blondie Denis. No, it's the B side, which is Contacting Red Square, which starts off.
Yes.
Although I'm young, I have a job to do. Got the microfilm in the lining of my shoe. So, Cold War spy.
Yes.
Sure. Right. And the job of sorts, I suppose. Bank robber.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Gainful employment, isn't it? For
Indeed.
for
Yeah, put your CV.
Yeah. Right. Craft work next. And the model.
Mm.
Yeah. Not the not male model though. She's a model. Yeah. So and then band from Leeds, the Mekons, and this is work all week. Work all week to get my pay. I work all week. There you go. And you know this one?
No.
I bet Richard knows.
I don't know.
You know, it's the members.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, offshore banking business. Yeah, they are all the pound and dollar signs and the palm tree.
Got from the bank robber.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these people are worse than bank robbers, aren't they? Offshore bankers. Yeah, solitary confinement on the B side, though, much better song, much better. Right then, and now a single that's not really appreciated enough on this channel.
Yes.
And of course, it's Iain Jury. What a waste.
Okay.
So, I could be the driver of articulated lorry. I could be a poet. I wouldn't have to worry. I could be a teacher in the classroom full of scholars. I could be a sergeant in a squadron full of wallers. I could be a lawyer with stratagems and ruses. I could be
Yeah, I think you've probably won the get the most.
yeah, I could be a doctor with poultices and bruises. Yeah, I could be a writer with a growing reputation. I could be the ticket man at Fulham Broadway Station. What a
Yeah,
waste.
you win this week.
And I
Get
chose to
20
play
jobs.
the in a £6 yeah. Right. They go Robert Wyatt and Shipbuilding. Fantastic song, and it's the great cover there. These are people mending the sails at in the docks, and it's one of a number of paintings by Stanley Spencer.
That's a single.
It's a single, yeah.
Wow, nice packaging.
It is, isn't it? In fact, the single came in, I think, 4 or 5 different covers.
Wow.
And they were all Stanley Spencer's shipyard paintings.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Well, that's that. Then a bit of punk here. Chelsea, Right to Work. Great single. Bit of pub rock. Dr. Feelgood. Down at the Doctors.
The Doctors, yes. I nearly picked that one because I've got the album.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
Nearly picked it.
And finally, I had to go for an album. So half man, half biscuit, because we've got, time flies by when you're the driver of a train. Pulling into Trompton with a cargo of cocaine.
Yeah.
I get high when I'm the pilot of a plane.
God, I love that cover.
Yeah. And there's some more in there. There's Reflections in a Flat. There's a lyric there, something like, now I go and pick my wife up. She works at Marks and Spencer's. La, 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 Lech for Wences.
And then you've got 99% look like Bob Todd, who was a comedian. That's a job.
Yeah. Len Ganley stance. Snooker referee. Yeah.
Yeah.
I Hate Nerys Hughes.
Actress.
Yeah. Yeah. Seal clubbing. I suppose that's an occupation.
For some.
A great one. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking hell, it's Fred Titmuth. Yeah. Cricketer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's my 10.
Excellent.
Well, I nearly put this one in, but I'm going to show it anyway.
Yeah.
History of the Bows. I Am the Urban Spaceman.
I'm the Urban Spaceman, yeah.
What a great track. I mean, I'm looking. The shame is the cover of this is battered, but the albums are in such mint condition. It's a shame.
Yeah.
I need to get this again.
That's a really good comp.
It is. It's got everything you need for the band. I mean, it's got intro, outro to start the album, and that just blows me away.
Can I add one more just to annoy Michael?
Sure.
Dear Doctor from Beggar's Banquet as well.
Yes, that's true.
I never realized until Mike showed the Doctor track.
There's so many more I could have gone for as well. There's,
Loads, aren't there? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Absolutely loads from that.
I would definitely went back in time with Loretta Lynn.
Yeah. House Martins, Dave. I was going to show Happy Hour. Yeah,
Beat to it.
about having to spend your free time after work with your boss in the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one there's one here for Richard that
No!
I thought you would have had.
How did I not? Well, I have to admit, I only knew about this 5 minutes before it came up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then we've got that one, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed a trick there, didn't we?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, Ernie.
And his great rival,
The Baker.
Ted Ton.
2 Ton Teddington, and he drove the Baker's van. We could have Trigger, who was the
and the fastest milk horse in the West.
Yeah.
If you didn't like that, you could turn over the B-side and stick your finger in your ear and go ting-a-ling-a-loo.
Okay, Pulsar's got his.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Sailor, yes. Sky Pilot, Taxman Replacements, Waitress in the Sky. Oh, nice one. Jade Warrior, Demon Trucker.
Trucker, that's an excellent one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got.
Oh, hey, bartender.
Yeah. Very good.
Family
Oh,
Doctor.
okay.
Good shout, Pulsar.
Oh, there's the classic, the lumberjack song.
Yeah.
And Deep Purple the Painter. Go, that's a good one.
Not all the library soundtrack albums are often musically dedicated to a profession.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have got away with that.
yeah. Good one,
Oops.
Stunty. Yeah.
The last DJ, Jack Sprite, Lawyers Enough. Yay.
That's
There's a when I went and looked and I thought, right, let's do a general search, just see what comes up. And I was amazed, 130 straight up songs with a job in the title. Crikey. This is going to be easy. And yet you're coming down to sort of the same professions time and time again.
Yeah. Painter Man from Boney M. Yeah. Could you count Ma Baker from Boney M?
Of course, a baker. Yeah.
No, but that wasn't her job. That was her name.
Yeah. Yeah, but she had a job though, didn't she?
But then, yes.
She was a professional
a
bank
baker.
robber, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is new pornographers is a band.
It is a band, yes, Stunty.
Don't know if it's British. Are they?
Don't know.
Well, listen, folks, as I said, it's a short trip, so I'll say
Oh,
Yeah,
Canadian.
Yeah, see you later, Richard.
enjoy
See
the
you.
Cheers, Richard.
all the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, they're a Canadian indie rock band. The new pornographers.
Well, so we've exhausted the work. So, what would you like to talk about?
What about we could go do the spin the wheel now? Get our brains rattling.
I should have done it while Richard was up. Should have told him to hang on.
No, well, I'm going to. No, for next week's. If I can find the right button. I hate doing this multitask rubbish, you know.
What are we up to now? Oh, it's still tight. It's 4-3. Gladys leading by 1.
So here we have Rocky's Wheel,
Yes.
and we've got breakup songs. Ask the Family, To Be or Not to Be, Jacket Covers, Dust Collector, Corkers and Clunk, Jack Frost, Calendars, Holy Trinity, and The Lads. That's twice. That's in 2 weeks that we've nearly had one of Michael's choices, and it's on the brink again.
Well, there you go.
Ask the Family.
Ask the Family. Did I miss the meeting when we cooked up that one? Ask the Family. I must have missed that meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was one of Pulsar's.
Oh.
And it's basically songs that have got family relations, like mum, dad,
All right. Yeah.
brother, sister.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Auntie.
Uncle
Yeah.
Albert.
Yeah. And anyway, that's 2 weeks running that I've used my psychic powers to sort of stop the wheel landing on the one that I wanted to.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you're doing very well, Mike, aren't you? They're getting it just.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's right. Yeah.
It'll come out soon, Michael, I'm sure.
Yes.
It always seems to be the ones that get put on, like today, come out first. And I shuffled the wheel round this.
Yeah.
Next week, I'll shuffle it live so you can see that it's.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
No Nick tonight, then.
No.
No. Yes, I owe Nick a bit of an apology because I was talking absolute bollocks about Northern Soul last Saturday night while he was watching. So apologies for that, Nick, if you watch.
Well, he was enthusiastic about it, though. That was the main thing.
Yeah.
Do you think have I stumped everybody on these lyrics? Do you think
I've got no idea what it is.
it's a job? It's an occupation,
Let me see.
Yeah.
and we have mentioned the band tonight. Or Dave mentioned it in Hatches and Matches and Dispatches.
I'll give you a clue. It's the Dave Miller Band. Sorry, Dave Matthews Band. I'm reading. Sorry, I'm reading about Steve Miller here.
No idea.
Grave digger.
Mm. Right. Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something a bit different. So, how did you buy anything good at the record fair?
Yep.
That was a good one.
That's for me to. Yeah, there's some stuff I might have shown it if Nick was here, but I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to show it tonight.
Well, that's for a video for yourself to do, isn't
Exactly. I did manage to get something that you might quite like, Ian.
What's that?
You'll find out about that sometime soon.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Jodie Foster.
What?
What?
There you go.
That's
I love
nice.
Jodie.
That's nice.
Oh, that's a nice comment.
I'm sure she likes the love being shared.
Yes.
Yeah, I've also this week been listening to some very late on Neil Young.
Oh yeah. Which ones in particular?
The ones from the 2020s.
Oh, very late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've listened to some of the ones that he recorded but didn't release till the 2020s. Even why wasn't they released?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, it's disappeared.
He's probably checking.
He's probably checking, yes. Yes, I finally got around watching that interview you did.
Hang on.
With
Right.
Andy.
We're going down a chain here. John
Oh,
Hinckley Jr., I love Jodie. I'd literally do anything for Jodie. Then Seb came up and asked him, did you ever get paid by Devo for your lyrics on I Desire? There you go, Michael.
No, that album still sells in Japan, but I haven't seen a penny. Well, get an international attorney.
that's the advice from our man on the plot.
Our man in Japan.
Our man in Japan.
To the boy in Sweden.
Yeah, you're saying about the that what's it? Is the one with the Ikoto or something? That it's a wonderful. The old boy with the in the record shop.
Wait, it's a guy who is the expert on craft work with a hat.
Yeah, him.
And
That was amazing. It was really interesting.
Yeah, he's and I went to a DJ night, and that's the night I learned about P Model. I don't think P Model's gotten any exposure outside of Japan, but he wrote all the liner notes for P Model, and he wrote all the liner notes for all the Kraftwerk CDs and DVDs. He was a music writer, and yeah, he's just it's really funny. All over his shop, there are signs that say "No photographs." I swear. And when I went in there, my heart just sank And but I just said, maybe I could do an interview with you. And he goes, yeah, I consider that. And he let me go in, and he was a real ham bone.
Yes, we're just talking about the man that knew his craft work.
Oh, the video that I made. Becano.
Yes, that's his name. Yes, absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have that on my watch list. I've yet to watch it.
It's hard. It's hard. So much, it's time. It takes so much time. Listen to music, watching these videos, these live streams.
I know, and then keeping in with my fleet.
Yes.
And you imagine if we're men of leisure.
We are men.
Where did we have got all this in when we was working?
Collecting our pensions.
Yeah. I sometimes wonder. I think I work harder now than I did when I was at work. But the good news is I don't have to walk far.
Yeah, just as far as Rocky lets you.
Yeah, in the mornings I literally crawl out of bed, in there, coffee, and I'm at the desk. I can get at the desk. It's easy.
Yeah.
But it has been hard this week with, workmen coming in, fitting around everything and everything else. But we've got a problem at the moment outside here at night with the mummies and daddies picking up their children. You must have it up in Leeds where parents just park their 4x4s where they fancy.
There are places, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a little bit of an old road. Dave will know it's the old A43 before they put the big roundabout in, and it's on what we call Booth Drive North, and it's basically a little shoot road that comes around to my street. But at about 3:30, each side of the road there are about 4 or 5. There's Range Rovers and Mercedes 4x4s, and a delivery lorry couldn't get down the road because of all these cars. And it was funny. He got out and he was saying, "Yeah, man." But apparently, the highways department are aware of it now. Because it is, although it's not a major through, you can't. If there was an emergency, an ambulance wouldn't get through. They just plonk the cars up on the side, and if someone said to me, if they knew that there was spaces around the back of you, they'd come and park in there. I'm just reading what John Hinckley Jr.'s put in.
I think
John Hinckley would like to come up and join us.
Yeah.
Tell us all about how he took a shot at Ronald Reagan and got him underneath his arm and went to prison for many years and is now out, a rehabilitated man.
Oh dear. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you missed one.
Oh, oh yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. God, he's an expert.
Oh my God.
Helmet thinks he's a lesbian. So why does Helmet think he's a lesbian?
Oh God, he set me off. That set me off. Oh, crikey.
I wonder how Helmet is after his rude interruption on our wonderful tag.
I'm sure he's resting
I
his
dunno.
voice.
Is he going to do a reply?
Yes, is Helmet going to reply?
Yes.
Yes, I think the lovely eggs have done well out of the vinyl tag, Mike. Do you?
Yes.
I think they might have done. Yeah. It's
I mean, lots of
We've all.
positive
I mean,
one of
it's
those
amazing.
things. I mean, that no one else mentions them, though, do they?
No. But I mentioned them. Mike mentioned
Michael
them.
did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
he has arrived.
Hey.
Good evening, Nick.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. We can hear you, Corby. Come in.
Yeah. I haven't got anything sorted.
No, that's
Okay.
all right. You look
Right.
knackered.
So was it a bit foggy in Corby this morning?
It's been misty all day.
Yeah.
Corby and I've been Wellingborough, Rushton, Kettering.
Yeah, it didn't really clear here, but enough to see.
Yeah. I had a list of stuff to sort out, but I haven't had a chance to do it. And
No, not a bother.
wrestling with a lot of problems at home at the minute.
Oh dear.
Real life.
Thought I'd at least come and say hello anyway. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, did you see what next week's was?
no, I haven't.
Yeah, it's about songs with with family like mum, dad, auntie.
Oh yeah,
grand.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah.
doing next.
Oh good.
It just missed out on Michael's breakup songs as well again. On the like the last week's where it was right on the edge. It was this week as well.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Steward's inquiry.
Yeah, but apparently it's Mike's magic powers. He
Yeah. I'm
sends
just tipping it into the next section. Yeah.
Will he be able to do it for a third week running?
Hey, I'll see if I can. Yeah.
I remember, probably last year, or the year before that, I entered somebody's contest in America,
Yeah.
and they had all the people who entered on the wheel, and I can't. Who it might have been that Miss 80s lady. So anyway, she was pressing the button, and of course, whoever's name came up was taken off, and it was the very last name on the wheel remaining. And every time the wheel sort of kept coming round towards my name, I was blowing at the screen, trying to make it move on.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think I came 4th or 8th or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love watching those little wheel things spinning around and simple things please simple minds.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can't get much simpler than mine.
Here's the debatable point for you. The 80s is the worst decade in pop music.
No.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, some of the worst music comes from the 80s, but some of the best music comes from the 80s. I don't think there is a worse decade. It's just what you listen to, and
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, there's some absolutely dreadful stuff in the 80s, but there was some dreadful stuff in the 70s and the 60s and the 90s. But,
Yeah,
and the 2000s and the 2010s and the 2020s.
Exactly, yeah.
It was all about production in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
and we
everyone
know
knows
who you hate for that. We know your favourite pet hate for that decade.
Yeah. Yeah, you get great classic rock bands making 80s music. Stop it.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone succumbed to it, didn't they?
Well, they didn't know. All the old dinosaurs that were around in the 60s and 70s succumbed to that sort of thing because they'd all run out of ideas by then, hadn't they? But there were a lot of there was a lot of great music, coming out, particularly coming out of the UK. I mean, there was some great labels. There was obviously sort of Two Tone and Stiff and all those record labels producing absolutely brilliant stuff.
And then you had the genres. You had glam rock and punk, post-punk, you name it, ska.
Yeah. Well, there's awful reggae, isn't there, on Stiff? Who is it? Really awful reggae version.
Desmond Decker. That one I picked up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and it's
not
dreadful, isn't
good.
it? Yeah.
I think the 80s though was the decade of the pop video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
MTV took off.
Yeah. Do you know that there's a video that sort of kind of like it sums up everything I hate about the 1980s, the things that I really disliked about the 1980s, and that video is "Money for Nothing" by Dire Straits. It's an awful video that was, apparently so great, and an awful band, and it just everything awful came together in one sort of like 4-minute video.
Yeah, but they also hit the nail on the head about the music industry.
Yeah, but they were part of it though, Dave. I mean, this is it.
I know.
It was cynical. It was cynical. It really was.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, Dire Straits had nothing to say after the first album.
No.
And even then, even the first album, they were sort of like, they were behind the curve massively. They produced an album that would have been better off in about 74, 75.
Yeah.
Sorry, and after that, their album is absolutely dire.
I mean, Brothers in Arms. It's not one of my. I'm not a big fan of that album. People go, why?
No. It's like Genesis in the 80s, isn't it? It's just a load of old pap. It's just dreadful, and it's a record companies that were to blame for this because they had their pampered sort of like stars, and the A&R men were too bloody lazy, to get off their arses and sort of like leave the comfort of the sort of Michelin star restaurant or wherever they were at the time, to go and look for sort of decent bands, and they just sort of like tried to perpetuate this, this awful rock music. Yeah, that's it. Awful.
Yeah, I Can't Dance is awful. But the worst on here is Hold On to My Heart. It's just such a dirge. We thought In Too Deep was crap, but that,
yeah. But there was some good music. There was some really good music in the 1980s. But
there was.
The big record companies just couldn't recognise that. They were too lazy. It was just awful, perpetuating the careers of bands who had, lost any sort of creative powers that they might ever have had.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion, folks.
No, you're right. There were bands that were churning out the same stuff over and over and over again. I could point the finger at someone like Status Quo. All the music sounds the same.
Yeah.
You don't remind me of Status Quo in the 90s. They were abysmal. Okay, they started well with, Just Supposing Never Too Late. 1982, that's when the wheels started to come off. And by the time they got to Ain't Complaining, well, that is just a load of old tosh. It's poppy. It's, I mean, Rick Parfitt had a short haircut. You know, what's going on there? And then I mean, their manager at the time. I mean, I don't like ill speaking of the dead, but he turned them into a brand, not a band. They were a brand, and doing all these stupid things and make them play in pubs and
Yeah, exactly. You know, no sort of creativity because you know the music industry, the corporates didn't want that. They just wanted big profits.
Yeah, money, money, money.
Yeah.
I
You
think
know.
the biggest culprits, in a way, in the 80s, Stock Aitken Waterman. They churned out
music.
so much. Exactly, they churned out so much plastic, repetitive. It's the same.
Yeah.
It was
But
dreadful.
I would disagree with that, Dave. And the reason I disagree with it is because they were producing pop music singles for the charts, and
Yes.
that's what pop music is all about. It's always been about this sort of disposable rubbish. I think where sort of things really kind of don't sort of things that I think is quite sort of wrong is sort of where you don't get new bands coming through. You know that there's music out there. You know, people playing in pubs and clubs, and they're not sort of getting a look in. And you know they can't get an album deal for love or money because they don't sound like Genesis. They don't sound like Yes. They don't sound like Dire Straits. You know, and that was what was really wrong. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not defending Stock Aitken and Waterman. I think you know that their music isn't great, but you know they were doing the thing for the charts, weren't they? You know, and that's
they weren't doing albums. It was
yeah.
I mean, one of the bands that really suffered in the early 80s, well, the mid 80s, was a band called IQ, sorry. They were a neo-prog band like Marillion, but because they stuck to their guns and just played old-fashioned prog, no one was interested in them. But they were really good. That was what prog should have been going down, but not. I mean, I think even Marillion, EMI tried to change the Marillion sound with Holiday.
Who are the members, and did they go on to do other things? Because
they're still going today. They look up some IQ for us. I mean, Holidays in Eden was a pop album. EMI wanted a pop album for Marillion, and it's probably their worst album they ever made.
Let's see.
That's saying something, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like that album at all.
Let's see. Mike Holmes, Peter Nichols, Tim Esau, Paul Cook, Neil Durant. Past members include Martin Orford, John Jewett, Andy Edwards, Mark Westworth, Les Marshall, Paul Manel, Mark Rideout. They're still going. Started in 81.
Yeah, the time when them and Marillion were at sort of the new neo-prog band, and it was Marillion that went forward and they got left behind, and they should never have been left behind.
Yeah.
It's like
same time you had Pendragon, 12th Night,
very good band.
Palace
Was
Solstice.
great.
Yeah, but we had a bit of a discussion about prog on Saturday night, and I know Nick was absolutely riveted by it because you're a big prog fan, aren't you, mate? But Dave
Can't get enough of it.
I know you can't. I know. Dave Atkinson said something quite interesting, and because we were talking about the European prog bands, you know, particularly a lot of Italian bands from the that had been going through the 70s and 80s, and he was saying that, the reason that they didn't really manage to sort of get anywhere is that they were really frozen out. That there were the, well, mainly, almost exclusively, isn't it, UK prog bands, sort of corners of the market. And, they never got a look in. And I must say that, at the time in the 70s, I didn't really know about most of these bands. And some of them have produced stuff that is, well, way superior to a lot of the UK prog, so, there's all sorts of things happen that sort of, mean that, one band makes it, another one doesn't. There's a lot of luck involved, isn't there?
There is. Dave, know more about JB, please.
It's also like there's only so much consumption that people can take in, and I'll give you just let me give you the Japan example, right? I mean, Japanese names, they all sound the same to Western ears, right? So I mean, you only know Yoko Ono and maybe a couple of other artists because it's kind of foreign to your ears, right? And it's the kind of same thing with prog. You can only take in so much, and you look to see what your friends are listening to because you're looking for what's the word consensus or agreement that it's good, right?
Mhm.
And
Peer
it's always
pressure.
the outliers who go out and become the weirdo collectors, but they're not in the big clubs. So at the end of the day, when you're a high school student, you have these cliques forming where it's the hard rock clique and the progressive rock clique and the folk clique, and you just become comfortable with that. And so there's only so much consumption of all these artists. It's impossible, right?
Prog had its time though in the 70s, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Styles and the times move on.
Yeah.
But there are hundreds, maybe 1,000 prog bands from all over the world. And when I went into this garden shed store and I saw all these CDs from these different artists from Czechoslovakia, Belarus had its own prog artists, all these other countries besides the UK and the United States. I mean, the UK and the United States kind of like dominated the market.
Yeah.
Through business.
Absolutely. But I mean, early 70s, I was so much into prog rock, but it was only really a handful of bands, and I'd buy everything by them, so it's from about 1970 through to about 73. Yeah.
That's because the music industry manipulates the charts.
Yeah.
They don't want you to know about prog bands from Eastern Europe, Russia, Czechoslovakia, Romania, or whatever it is. They're all bad. They're all the bad guys. And all the best prog bands, Britain and America.
Yeah.
That's why you never hear of these Eastern European bands. And if you did, it was, a bit of a fluke. It was luck, pure luck.
Yeah. I mean, there's a Polish. I think I'm pretty certain a Polish a prog band that I only discovered probably about 25, 30 years ago. They're called SBB, and they're really, really good. But I'd never heard of them, at the time. But I think by about 73, 74, I thought prog rock was getting a bit stale anyway. At least the stuff that was being promoted, by the big sort of UK and US record labels. So, it really did need something to sort of sweep all that away. And, luckily we got it, didn't we, in 1976?
Yeah. I
I-
think also
I-
stadium shows had a play in this too. You know how the venues got bigger and bigger, so that when Yes came and they played Madison Square Garden or this football stadium, it kind of just smoked out any other opportunity for any other band to get any mind share in that marketplace.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
the next one that's coming up.
what does that mean, Stunty? What does that mean?
I like Simon, but the Beatles never quit. They just
No,
the next
put it back.
week. Yes, it's about Deadwax was saying the Beatles were the kings of prog. They weren't even a prog band.
Yeah. No, I think. Yeah, I think that's a bit tongue in cheek, isn't it, Stunty? Because I don't think anybody instructed John Peel to promote
Oh, God,
British
no.
music. The thing is that the people that were sending tapes into him every week were British bands, I think, and he would play them, and I think he should be given credit for that.
He also played stuff from other countries. If
Yeah, he
somebody
did.
sent him music, he would
American.
play.
But it was
Primarily.
predominantly British British
yeah,
music, but then I think
But if
He-
it wasn't
he-
if it
a
wasn't
few
for him,
people who-
you'd never have heard of Half Man, Half Biscuit.
well, that's right, and lots of other
he
bands as well.
predominantly
Or
he
Mark
was
Boland.
the main, if you like, introducer of new bands.
Yeah.
To the
Impresario.
mainstream. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he was almost.
yeah.
But
I mean, he would
had a
play.
stage. He had a forum that he could promote. Here's a new band. I've just listened to this. They sent me a cassette. You have a listen. You tell me what you think. And
Right.
people loved it or people hated it.
Well,
But
that's right.
they were given a platform. That
That's
was
right.
great.
I mean, I was just reading today, and it's a history of stiff records, and I've got to the bit about Reckless Eric coming on the scene, and Eric didn't want to deal with the big sort of record companies, and Stiff Records were the sort of people he thought he could deal with. He turned up with a cassette tape, and threw it on the table, and didn't recognise that he was actually talking to Nick Lowe at the time. He said he didn't know who it was, but there was this guy in a suit, and he thought he was he was an office worker or something, but it turned out to be Nick Lowe. And anyway, they listened to his tape, and he put virtually everything he'd ever written on there, and he'd recorded it on a little domestic cassette recorder. And the track that really stood out for him was Whole Wide World. And Stiff decided they were going to do a sort of a compilation album, and Whole Wide World was one of the songs sort of on it. And so, as usual, the sort of like the complimentary copies went out to the DJs and the press and everything. And John Peel got hold of a copy of the comp, and he played a track off of it, and it was Whole Wide World, and that was that was Reckless Eric's sort of like big sort of break, really. So there you go.
That is a tough one, folks. From Jim, who was the better bassist, Stu Sutcliffe or Sidney Vicious?
I think we know the answer to that one. What was Andy saying about Andy Kershaw?
In the interest of balance, the BBC only let Andy Kershaw play world music, despite the fact the only music he wanted to play was the Oldham Ting.
Yeah. You know what, Andy? Andy Kershaw was the Harry, at Leeds University when I was a student there. And he was an arsehole.
From the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I mean the guy was very career orientated. Put it that way.
He knew what he wanted to do at a very young age. Then.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, I mean, he used to play a lot of sort of really interesting music on his program. Because didn't he used to be on just before John Peel? Didn't he have the 8 till 10 slot at some point? Yeah.
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, I think he was on before. Because I'd always put the radio on just before John Peel, and you got
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I said if Andy, Liz Kershaw, yeah. Anyway,
I've met Liz Kershaw.
Came up, I'd show a couple of things that I picked up at Record Fair. So as you hear, mate, I'll tell you what. Give me a couple of minutes, and I'll drag them out.
Yeah, okay. I haven't got anything nice to say about Liz Kershaw.
Yeah, she was definitely on the coattails of her brother, wasn't she?
Yeah, it was. All I'll say is, you met some celebrities with the "Do you know who I am" syndrome,
and she loved Bruce Springsteen. So that's another, bad market.
Yeah, I used to meet so many. Used to let. Do you know who I am?
She was like that then, was she?
Bit like Janet Street Porter.
No, go blimey.
Yeah, she says, I know Richard Branson. I went, good for you.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with me.
Yeah. Now, this is just a bit of a preview, but, you're influencing my buying choices here, Nick.
Well, mate, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this.
If you would please, I'm doing something.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
I've not seen that sleeve for years.
Yeah. Yeah, because it came out in 1967, but this is from much later, I think from the 80s reissue.
So tell me about Prince Buster real quickly. Tell me about the artist.
I think Nick's best to be talking about that.
Okay.
I just share another couple of singles I bought as well.
Okay.
So they're these Trojan sort of reissues, Nick.
Oh yeah.
And they're kind of like split singles. So you got this one, and what is it? Clarence Eccles, Chinaman. You know that?
Sounds familiar.
By that's somebody like some Drumbeo and Dynamite or something. Yeah, and there's this one as well. And again, it's kind of split. So it's Alibaba by John Holt.
I think I've got that actually.
And another John Holt on the other side. I'm Your Man.
Uh-huh.
So I saw these and I thought, they're quite reasonably priced,
He did a famous album, 1,000 Volts of Holt.
Oh yeah.
Which is well worth getting.
Yeah. So that was it.
About a year or so ago, me and my eldest lad were in Birmingham. We went to see Danny Baker do his one-man show. And he was giving away records from his own personal collection, all signed and autographed by him, blah, blah, blah. And he brought in an album, and it was by John Holt, 1,000 Volts of Holt. And he gave it to the woman who was sat in front of me.
Oh, Oh, oh dear. Yeah,
I've got a reissue of it, but
yeah.
his was an original.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That would have been nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, you tell Michael about Prince Buster because you know
Yeah,
all that, don't you?
I looked him up briefly. He passed away.
Yeah, he's been gone a good few years now.
But how did he get? Tell me just how did he get his start, or how did you just tell me? Just
Cecil Bustamante Campbell.
yeah.
He got the nickname Prince Buster because he was a bit of a boxer,
Oh,
and he used to work with the people like Duke Reed and the other big players in Jamaica who ran sound systems, or which are basically mobile discos.
right.
And he used to work with those sort of people doing security and DJing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's how he got into the ska music per se. Released loads and loads of singles, mostly over here. Like a lot of the ska artists and that, they became more popular over here in Britain than they did back home.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
He was one of the early ska sort of artists to come over here to Britain to promote stuff. And there's a very famous picture of him when he arrived here at Heathrow. He's pictured dancing with a young lady. And that picture of him and the young lady, the young lady in particular was the inspiration for the logo on the Beat records. The Beat Girl, her name was, who turned out to be a sex change lady.
When he was at the airport, she had already transitioned, so she already transitioned.
Yeah,
and probably nobody knew.
No,
Yeah.
very, very, very early.
Right.
One of the earliest people to do it, I think.
Christine Jorgensen, I think, was the most famous people to.
Oh, I forget her name now. I've been caught on the hop.
That's okay.
I forgot. But yeah, he had his own sound system as well back in Jamaica, and big recording artist, big defender of ska music and that. I think a lot of the American record companies and that, and music impresarios are trying to sort of make it out to be their music, although a lot of it is based on jazz.
Right.
There's elements of jazz, swing.
He wasn't known in the U.S. at all, Prince Buster. I don't know. I don't think he got any kind of recognition or following. It was all the Wailers and Bob Marley and the guys that the Stones partnered with recording. But I'd never heard of Prince Buster until you said the name.
Well, it wasn't really known here, was he, Nick? Until Madness.
Yeah. Madness. Their first single release was a song called "The Prince," which was their tribute to him. One of his songs is called Madness, and of course Madness took their name from that. The Madness song "One Step Beyond" was originally done by Prince Buster.
Yeah.
Him and the rest of those sort of early ska artists, reggae artists were huge influence on reggae artists over here in Britain, the two-tone movement,
Hmm.
you know, the skinhead movement of the late 60s, early 70s. A lot of it's all down to him and his fellow musicians back home in Jamaica, who became more popular over here, like I say, when they were back home.
Right.
Jamaica is the home of reggae, but I like to think Britain is the home of ska, although it isn't. You know,
Yeah.
its birthplace is back home in Jamaica, but it was picked up and carried on and made more popular over here in Britain than anywhere else in the rest. Anywhere else, you know, the rest of the world. There you go.
Nice
Yeah,
sidebar.
and this is the man, Mike, who says he doesn't know nothing.
Oh,
I know.
no, I don't.
I know. Yeah.
I know stuff, but I struggle with my memory sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask me what I was doing 30 years ago, I can remember. Ask me what I had for my dinner yesterday. I'm
Yeah.
fucked if I can, if I can tell you, you know.
It gets
What
worse,
did you have
mate.
for your dinner
It gets
yesterday?
worse the older you get.
Yeah,
I'm exactly the
Yeah.
same. I can remember sort of gigs I went to, you know, when I was a teenager. And I can remember them so well, but, you know, as you say, you know, what you did yesterday, you know, or where you put the car keys 5 minutes ago, that's a complete mystery.
yeah.
Anyway,
Or the door keys. Or
Yeah.
when you come in, when I was coming from taking Rocky out, I put the door keys down, and then when I went and locked the door, I can't find the buggers.
Yeah. Where's my glasses? On your head.
yeah.
But yeah, he was.
Anyway. I think Bunty said I ignored a question that Michael asked. I don't know what that was.
He's
I
forgotten
think that was
already.
Prince Buster that you
Yeah.
said that Nick was the authority to ask.
Oh yeah, about Prince Buster. Yeah, so I didn't ignore him, no. Yeah, I'll pass the buck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably best known for appearing on the Blue Beat label, although he had his own labels, and but yeah, Blue Beat is the one he's probably best known for. Great bloke, great bloke, and he was he turned to Islam later on in his life because of a meeting he had with Muhammad Ali.
All people, Randy. All people. Just answer your question.
And yeah, I really sort of got back into his music from watching him performing with a Japanese ska band called Determinations. There's a great video of them on YouTube.
I'll look it up.
And yeah, I was hoping to sort of see him play here in Britain. And unfortunately, never did. He passed away. I think he had a home in Miami. But his son, I think he's called Sultan Ali, or something like that. He still sort of performs, doing a lot of his father's stuff and the older sort of ska and stuff, you know. But,
Yep.
yeah. He appeared on British TV. He was on Top of the Pops once. He was live later with Jules Holland, performing with Suggs and Madness. Yeah, it was a great bloke.
Hello,
That's
Simon.
I was sorting out Rocky, and he wants something else now. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm no expert on Northern Soul either. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
a fan.
you know more than me. But it kind of
I
dawns on
remember
me.
you say you trying to get me up last Saturday.
I was. I just thought I was digging a hole for myself there. You know, I thought I'm just, you know,
Oh, I don't know. I can't
I'm just
remember.
droning on, and I know bugger all about it.
That was an interesting discussion, though.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, it's interesting as a sort of subculture because it was, you know, quite hidden, wasn't it? You know, as a youth sort of subculture, it was quite private, if you know what I mean.
Mm,
You know,
yeah,
compared to
yeah.
stuff like you know, punks and skins and whatever. You know, you wouldn't really
Probably
encounter.
because the Northern Soul scene was a night time into the early hours of the morning and onward, and you
Yeah,
never really saw the Northern Soul sort of dancers, the boys and the girls, you know.
that's it. Yeah,
Whereas you'd see the punks any time during the day and all that, you know,
yeah,
with all the gear on. I've just got to nip out in the kitchen anyway.
Mhm.
Okay.
right. Yeah,
Well, evening, Simon.
Evening.
yeah. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, okay. I thought I'd just pitch in for the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah,
On the face, say hello.
yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Cool.
Well, I spent the night in jail because of drunkenness.
Oh,
Sorry, I switched myself off. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, not a problem.
right. Yeah, well,
Because
yeah.
of
I've never spent a night in jail. Yeah. There you go. I've got no credibility whatsoever.
because of music? No.
I spent a night. I spent a night in Scunthorpe.
That's nearly as bad.
That's nearly as bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's like purgatory, isn't it?
But see,
Yeah.
it has to be because of music, you know, because with stunting, you have to earn it, you know.
Yeah,
Pay your dues.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, Nick's falling into a black hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Richard.
Yeah. I got paid for it though. That was the main thing. I didn't go there on my own free will. I was staying up there when they do the Special Olympics in Scunthorpe.
Hang on. You've been back to Scunthorpe since then.
No, I've never been back to Scunthorpe.
I thought you went back with
No.
a partner.
I've never been back to Scunthorpe. I went in 1988 and that was enough.
What's Scunthorpe?
It's a town in Humberside, and it's known for, or was known for, steel making. Although, you know, people are being made redundant, and you know, it's one of those towns, you know, where if the main industry goes, then you know, 3/4 of the town are unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick has found his way out the black hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Northern Soul, I tend to just stick to listening to the music rather than read up on the facts and the figures.
Yeah. Yeah. There's I can't remember the name of it, but there's like a feature film about Northern Soul.
Yeah, came
young
out
lad
a
that
year.
gets-
Yeah, came out about a year or two ago.
Yeah, not so long ago. Yeah. And it,
There is,
I
there is
think
a
it's pretty good.
there is a soundtrack for it you can buy on vinyl, but the trouble is that with Northern Soul compilations, a lot of it tends to be rather samey.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I saw the film. It's quite good.
I can't remember what it's called though. That's the trouble.
No.
No, I can't remember.
Yeah. But you know the film I mean, then?
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's the back of Beyond. I should know the ex-wife was from that area.
Isn't that Alconbury? RAF Alconbury, Kingsley and Wade, Norfolk.
It's out that way.
Yeah. There's a few, aren't there, in East Anglia, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go to the one of the American air bases out that way. Well, which one was it? Lakenheath. They used to do like a Special Olympics on their air base, and they'd invite, it's got a big sports track and that. It was a great day, but we all had to get American dollars, obviously, and we used to take well advantage of it because the pound was quite strong against the dollar. We'd go in there and buy all sorts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I went, had a sort of night out at up in North Yorkshire to a US base, and it counts as US territory, doesn't it? As you say, you have to buy everything in dollars. And,
Did you mix with any of the servicemen there, or were you just?
Yeah, they were great. They sort of organised this event, and then each team had a couple of the guys to show them, be their hosts, and then the barbecue afterward was something else. I'd never seen, huge pieces of beef and fantastic. They really put on a great show. But we used to go into the store there. Well, they said, we've got an American store to buy you, anything you want. Well, that'll be all right. We was expecting this little shack.
No, it's like Costco. It's like right. It's like they've planted an American supermarket on the base.
Afternoon.
It was huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, we brought beer and I brought steaks and half at the price.
It's about 7 a.m., Michael?
7 o'clock in the morning on Friday.
It's just after 10 here in the UK.
Yeah, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon for Rob.
Yes.
Yes, Scunthorpe has also closed.
Yes. Who put that in thought?
yeah.
That's the old joke, isn't it, about Scunthorpe?
I know, but it's
we don't do that sort of thing.
It's suffering a bit at the moment. It's Scunthorpe, I think, with the speed.
Oh, somebody just mentioned Beetle Dave.
Yeah.
I was watching his latest video during the week, and he brought a copy of Ogden's Nut Gone Flake.
Ooh.
And he mentioned the chap on it speaking the gobbledygook.
Oh, Stanley Unwin.
Stanley Unwin, yeah. Stanley Unwin.
Yeah.
He lived in Long Buckby, Northamptonshire.
All right.
Yeah.
He had a house there.
Ah.
I didn't know. I've delivered loads of times there over the years. Long Buckby, been out that way.
Well, when he died, Dave and our friend Matt, he was at his he was working his funeral, and he said that Jim Davidson did the eulogy just like Stanley He says,
Yeah.
even we were laughing because it was brilliant.
Yeah.
What was it?
That
Yeah.
record, Nut Gun Flake, was that originally shipped in a tin like the pill metal box, or was that in a circular cardboard jacket? I can't remember. Wasn't it shipped in a tin?
It had a round
That's
sleeve.
Yep.
How are you?
But wasn't it in an aluminum tin?
Let's have a
I know
look.
the cover. I know the cover.
It's been re-released so many times over the
was.
decades.
Yeah.
Originally released on vinyl in the circular novelty package of a metal replica of a giant tobacco tin.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
right.
so it looked like it was a tin.
Yeah, there was a tin, inside which was a poster created with 5 connected paper circles with pictures of band member. Proved too expensive and not successful as the tins tended to roll off shelves.
Yeah.
Quickly followed by a paper card replica with a gatefold.
Yeah.
I always suspected it was in a tin, but I've never ever seen one.
Look at that.
Well, I've never seen one in the tin. Here's a round one. I won't open it up completely, but it's sort of
Seen that before.
lots of
Oh my
panels,
God.
everything.
That is so fragile.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a tobacco tin.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never seen one in a tin. There you go.
What colour's the label on the record, Mike?
The label.
Yeah, what colour is it?
It's immediate.
Yeah, what colour is it? Is it white?
White. The one
I'm
I've
sure-
got what
I'm sure I've seen one that's pink.
quite likely. I mean, I've got no idea about what sort of press it is or anything. Quite honestly, I couldn't care less. But there you go. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Impressive.
I mean, that it's an album that divides people, isn't it?
Yes.
Some people can't stand the Stanley Unwin stuff, and I think it's great. I love that
It's
song.
hilarious.
It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dighty Phytos and the
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with a Dighty Phyto and a
Well, he just starts off in it side 2. He just starts off with, are you sitting comfortable with 2 square on your body? Then I'll begin.
Yeah. Oh dear.
absolutely brilliant. I mean, he was in a Carry On film, wasn't he? And no one understood him except Kenny Williams, and he was talking the same.
Yeah, he was in a sort of kids sort of program. It was one of these sort of Jerry Anderson things, but it wasn't puppets.
No, Secret
Service.
Secret Service. That's it.
Yeah, and he was Professor Stanley Unwin, wasn't he? In that.
Yeah.
And he used to kind of bamboozle the villains with his speaking.
Yeah. It was Carry On Regardless, and his language was given a proper name, Unwinese.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, also known as Gobbledygook.
Has his house got a blue plaque?
I'm not quite sure.
It should have, shouldn't it?
It should do, yeah.
Has a landmark, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Because there's one for Robert Llewellyn, Brighton. Because his house is just up the road from me.
You should get your house landmarked, Mike, for Arthur Lee. I put a letter to the local city office.
What, Arthur Brown?
Yeah. If you don't, we'll make you one.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. Yeah.
Special designation.
Yeah.
You'll have all the tourists coming around wanting to.
That's right. Yeah.
Taking them selfies.
Anyway, we really ought to do that thing we talked about before and sort of like just have a trip round the landmarks, musical landmarks in London.
Yes. Yes, I think that'll be on the cards.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've gone
No,
over the
there was
tonight.
a publisher, Sir Stanley Unwin, but it's not the same person.
Are we ready to stick a fork in it?
That's yeah.
Yep.
Been a long old day for me. So, what do we?
Are we going to show one?
I'm gonna show one.
I'm going to show one.
1, 2,
Mm.
3. Right.
I don't know where Simon's. Is he looking for?
Across there. 1, 2, 3. Is he coming back?
Beecham's powders.
Oh. You've got three, right?
You should do Beecham's powders in one and Ogden's not gone flake in the other. Simon's gone for another beer. We think. Possibly.
My hand.
There he
Oh,
comes.
there he is. He's back again.
I haven't got anything. So
Oh,
in that case, up there, over there, that's balanced. 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. There you go.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for Richard McCook popping in earlier. It's always great to see Richard on. Thank you for some of our guests tonight. Some really interesting ones. And thank you for Stunty for coming in. It's always a pleasure to see Stunty. And Jim hasn't been in for a little while. So thank you very much for watching.
hang on. Before we go,
Yes.
I didn't know that, Andy. Do you know what time it is? Because it's 5-minute walk from me. Literally 5 minutes up the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can reply. I'll let you reply, Andy.
Yeah. Otherwise, I suppose I can look it up, can't I, on their website?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then, folks. We'll see you all next week.
Okay.
bye.
Drop.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
7:30.